Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Mike and Today we're going to do another ship bios video. Today we're going to do a ship bios video of the second ship involved in the last battle and sinking of the German battleship Bismarck. And this ship is the British battleship HMS Rodney. Rodney was part of the Nelson class, which consisted of HMS Nelson and of course Rodney. There was no other ship in the class. Construction began on Rodney in 1922, and she was finished by and was commissioned in 1927. Here is the armament of HMS Rodney. From 1927 until World War II, Rodney was either in the Atlantic Fleet or Home Fleet. Here we see her with her sister, HMS Nelson. At their time, Rodney and Nelson were called revolutionary, and they certainly were. In fact, when Rodney was built, she was the first ever British warship to be heavy equipped with such weapons. However, peace on board the HMS Rodney was short-lived, and at that time, the 12-year-old ship would be part of World War II in 1939. It would take place in remarkable battles. In January of 1941, Rodney was put on the duties to capture or destroy the German battlecruiser sisters Scharnhorst and Eisenhower. She found the ships, but no battle took place, for the ships realized that there was a British ship and sailed away. However, Rodney would take place in an extraordinary battle. However, between that and this historic battle, she went on escort duties. In May of 1941, the Rodney was ordered to merge with HMS King George V for the battle for the hunt for the German battleship Bismarck. Still a 14-year-old tough ship, Rodney was a bit slow, and even some of the people on the King George V could sometimes joke that they could hear the HMS Rodney huffing and puffing her way through the water. Here's a picture of her during the battle, during the hunt for the German battleship Bismarck. This was later thought to be Nelson, but it's possibly Rodney, because, well, it has to be Rodney. Then, on May 27th, 1941, the day happened. King George V and Rodney caught up with Bismarck, and with the help of HMS Norfolk and HMS Dorsetshire, began to battle with the Bismarck. King George V and Rodney were ordered to speed towards the Bismarck to give shots. This move nearly blew up the Rodney, because this made her engine room uninhabitable. Crewmen had to hose her overheating boilers and engines down with seawater. Every blast from the Rodney's guns will open the boiler doors with fires. It's hardly imaginable what happened down there inside Rodney. Then, actually, there were several shots that came really close to Rodney. Like, there was one shot when Rodney almost went just before Bismarck was just about to fire on Rodney and probably destroy it, Rodney fired and destroyed her forward radar. Then, soon after, Rodney came alongside Bismarck and started pummeling her away with her guns, destroying anything in sight on the Bismarck. During the battle, Rodney had loose fuel as well as HMS King George V, and so Rodney and King George V were ordered to turn away from the Bismarck and sail for Scapa Flow to refuel. The Dorsetshire later finished off the Bismarck with torpedoes. From 1941 over to 1944, Rodney was stationed with Force H, a Mediterranean convoy system. Here we see the old Rodney adds her weight of shells to the German positions on the Cayen coast on June 7, 1944. As you can see, these guns are pretty darn powerful. However, there were some setbacks about Rodney. In 1939, she was in need for an overhaul, but the war did not allow this, and her rudder had defects, which caused her not to destroy the cruisers Scharnhorst and Eisenhower. So during Rodney's life in World War II, the British started to question the seaworthiness of this giant. Rodney had a motto, non generent aquilas columbas, which means eagles do not breed doves. That's actually kind of cool. Rodney also had a nickname, Rodno, which is actually pretty funny if you come of it. Okay, back to the question of her seaworthiness. The Rodney had sailed 156,000 nautical miles without an overhaul until 1942. Like, that's a long time. From 1927 to 1942, and she had an overhaul then? Yeah, she really needed an overhaul. However, she would not see any service again since 1944. Since December of 1944, Rodney was put as the flagship of Scapa Flow, and rarely even left her mooring, which led to the downfall of HMS Rodney. It would soon become to the end of HMS Rodney. In 1948, HMS Rodney, nicknamed Rodno, having served for 21 years, was scrapped. I actually find it kind of confusing because she only served for 21 years, guys. She could do a lot more than that, like 30, 40, I don't know. But, yeah, Rodney never saw any more service. She was a tough old girl, but they didn't think she had enough in her. I think she did. Even though she almost killed her entire engine crew in the battle against Bismarck, she still would have been able to fight a lot more than what she actually did. Thank you for reading about the story of watching the story of HMS Rodney, second ship of the Nelson class, and second ship involved in the last battle with the German battleship Bismarck. In the next video, we'll talk about HMS Norfolk, I mean. So, thank you guys for enjoying this video. Have a nice day. This is Mike Benitez signing out on the story of the old girl of the Royal Navy, HMS Rodney. Have a nice day, guys.